Some setup is required before we can use HTTP and reactive extensions. Be sure to include the Angular 2 HTTP script. Register the HTTP providers in the appropriate location in the component hierarchy. To use it throughout the application, register it in the root app component. And import RSJX to load in all of the reactive extension features, such as the map operator. Build a data access service to wrap HTTP requests. In that data service, specify the needed imports. Define a dependency for the Angular HTTP client service using a constructor parameter. Create a method for each HTTP request. In the method, call the desired HTTP method, such as GET, and pass in the URL to the desired server. Use a map operator to transform the raw HTTP response to a JSON object, and do error handling as desired. In any class that needs data from a data service, call the subscribe method to subscribe to the observable. Provide a function to execute when the observable emits an item. This often assigns a property to the return JSON object, and if that property is bound to a template, the retrieved data appears in the view, and add an error function to handle any returned errors. This module was all about HTTP and observables. We began with an overview of observables and reactive extensions. We then walked through how to set up HTTP and reactive extensions. We examined how to build a data access service that sends requests for data over HTTP. And we saw how to subscribe to the returned observable and ultimately display the resulting data in the view. We've now removed the hard-coded data from the product data service, yay, and instead retrieved the data using HTTP. In our sample application, we are using HTTP to retrieve the data from a local JSON file, but the techniques are the same for retrieving data from a back-end service. Next up, we'll see how to display multiple pages with navigation and routing.